Hello students and welcome back to my YouTube channel. After a long time I am making another video and आज हम लोग क्लास 9 का चैप्टर नेचुरल रिसोर्स के बारे में जानेंगे. ओके, सो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस. लेट अस फर्स्ट नो about a few facts about the earth. Okay, the earth appears blue in color from space. It's because it has about 71% of its surface covered with water. Okay, so इसीलिए हम लोग planet को बोलते हैं, सॉरी यूनिवर्स के इस प्लानट को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, दैट दिस प्लानट इज द ओनली प्लानट दैट इज हैविंग लाइफ ऑन इट. ओके, सो हेंस द प्लानट इज कॉल्ड एज द प्लानट विथ लाइफ and we must be proud of our planet. Okay, the earth. Earth is the only planet in this universe which life is found. Okay, so why does the life not exist on other 8 planets of the universe? There are very many reasons, and all those reasons are being overcome by earth, and that is why only अर्थ में हम लोग लाइफ देख सकते हैं. ओके, सो लाइफ ऑन अर्थ विल डिपेंड ऑन मेनी फैक्टर्स and most of the life forms need appropriate temperature, then food and water are required to survive. Okay, so the resources on the planet earth will provide all these things, the appropriate conditions required for life. Okay, so and also there is the solar energy from the sun which supports life to meet the basic requirements of life forms. Okay, so the earth is also known as the mother earth. Yes, we call it as the mother earth. And the resources available on this mother earth are air, water and land. Okay, how do we define a resource? A resource is anything which is utilizable. Okay, जो ह्यूमन बींग्स के काम में आए, जो मैनकाइंड के काम में आए, उसे हम लोग रिसोर्स बोलते हैं. एनीथिंग दैट इज यूटिलाइजेबल. And air, water and land are such resources which are naturally found in planet earth. Now life is found where there are 3 resources present, the air, water and land. ये तीनों जहाँ पर रहेंगे, life will be found there. Okay, so the air that covers the whole earth, it's just like forming a blanket around the earth, and that is called as the atmosphere. Okay, then the water part of the earth, or made with the surface water, made with the groundwater, underground water, that is called as the hydrosphere. Okay, hydro means water, so it is called as the hydrosphere. And the land part of the earth is called as the lithosphere. Okay, so these are the 3 different parts of the planet earth: atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. And where all these 3 things will be available, that zone will be called as the life supporting zone. And जहाँ पे क्या होगा, all these 3 things will be interacting together within themselves, and they will make the life possible. That is called as the biosphere. Okay, so biosphere is that part of the earth which is supporting the life. Okay, so bio means life, so the life supporting zone of the earth is called as biosphere. Okay, now these 3 resources will form the non-living part of the earth. Non-living is also called as abiotic. Okay, so these are the abiotic part of our environment, and there are also the living parts which are called as the biotic parts. Okay, the terms used are abiotic and biotic. Abiotic means the non-living parts, and biotic means the living parts of the biosphere, like the plants and the animals. All those are coming under the biotic part. Okay, so now let us study about these components in details. The surroundings of the living being will form its environment. हमारे चारों तरफ जो है, हम उसे अपना environment बोलते हैं. Okay, you can pronounce it in any way, no problem. Environment, environment कैसे भी pronounce कर सकते हो, spelling सही होना चाहिए. So it will be consisting of everything that will be surrounding us. Okay, so those all substances and materials will also affect the structure and also the metabolism. Okay, living beings, they show metabolism. Metabolism means the sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in a living body. जितने भी reactions होते होंगे. Okay, So the sum total of all the chemical reactions occurring within a living body is called as metabolism, and that is affected by the availability of the near environment. उसमें क्या क्या available है, क्या क्या नहीं है, accordingly it is affected. Okay. So what are these resources on earth? These are nothing but the natural materials. Okay. The natural materials occurring on planet earth. Okay. So all the living beings will be depending directly or indirectly on the nature only for their survival, and human beings too will depend on the nature to fulfill their basic needs, and we also obtain our different materials from the nature. Okay, all those materials, natural materials, could be serving us as the resources. You can write examples like the air, water, land. We have already written that. Together with that, the minerals, soil could be related to land, then coal, petroleum means the diesel, petrol, etc., all those things. Okay, and if you are using the plants also, we can consider them as our resource. Okay, the plants and animals are also our resource, which includes in the forest and in the wildlife. Okay, so these materials are present in nature, and these are useful to mankind. These are stocked in nature and useful by us. So that's why called as natural resources. We can now replace this word for resources. Okay, materials को हम लोग resources बोल सकते हैं because they are useful to us. So we obtain these materials from जो भी material हमें चाहिए, we obtain this from the natural resources present on planet Earth, and then we fulfill our requirements again and again. Repeatedly we use them to fulfill our requirements. Okay, so the earlier people used these resources which fulfilled or supported their life, and due to the growing population, now what happens? Population बढ़ने की वजह से क्या हो रहा है? Urbanization हो रहा है and industrialization हो रहा है. Urbanization means लोग रूरल एरियाज से छोड़ के सब अभी शहर में बसने लग गए हैं. दैट्स कॉल्ड अर्बनाइजेशन. एंड इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन मीन्स बिल्डिंग अप ऑफ more and more industries or factories. Okay, so that's called industrialization. Due to these two processes, people now have exploited these natural resources. जो natural resources easily available होते थे वो अभी exploit हो चुके हैं, and we have disturbed and changed the importance of nature. Okay, we have क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ecological balance ही गड़बड़ हो चुका है. Okay, so these materials could be categorized as physical, chemical or biological components, and the resources basically they could be, let us just rub this. Okay, the natural resources, they could be classified as basically into two groups: exhaustible and inexhaustible. Okay, they could be exhaustible or inexhaustible resources. Okay, so first let us see the inexhaustible resources. Inexhaustible natural resources will be those resources which are going to last for unlimited time. Okay, they will be lasting for unlimited time. जितना भी हम यूज करें वो खत्म होने वालों में से है नहीं. Okay, so those are called as inexhaustible natural resources, and the stock of these materials is unlimited, hence they are not going to be finished by our use. Examples will include the air, water, solar radiation. Okay, these are the things which will never going to be finished. On the other hand, when we consider the exhaustible natural resources, what do we find? These resources are going to last, are not going to last forever, and that's why they are called as exhaustible. Okay, so these resources are available in limited stocks and for a limited period of time only. So the stock of these natural resources is limited, and they are also they can be degraded in quality and quantity after some time due to various activities of human beings. Okay, so hence these stock or resources should be used carefully. We need to take care while we are using these exhaustible resources. Okay, now the complexity and the interdependence of various substances of our environment is the end product of billions of years. Okay, ये आज की बात नहीं है. आज हमने बना दिया, suppose ज़मीन खोदी और कोल निकल गया, ऐसा नहीं होता है. ओके, सो कोल एंड पेट्रोलियम बनता है बहुत सालों साल बाद. ओके, इट्स टेकिंग बिलियन ऑफ ईयर्स. ओके, and the non-living components are called as abiotic components, as I said. That will include air, water, soil, light, temperature. Everything will go under non-living components except the plants and animals, which will be going under the living components. Not only plants and animals, the other microorganisms will also be included there. And the non-living components are actually needed for survival of the living beings, and they will also form the weather and climate of a particular area, like temperature हो गया, humidity हो गया. इससे हम लोग climate and weather बताते हैं एक particular area का. Okay, so these are all the resources and its types. This is the basic introduction. Now we will learn about the resources one by one. And first of all, we will learn about the air. Okay, the breath of life, air. Air is a mixture of gases, everybody knows that. Okay, air is a mixture of gases, and air is all around us, it is surrounding all around us, and most of the living beings need air to breathe. Air has no color, no shape, no size, and that is why we cannot see the air. We can only feel it when it is moving. Okay, and as you all might be knowing, moving air is called wind. Okay, the moving air is called wind, and air is useful because all living organisms will be requiring oxygen for survival, so air is useful. And it is also needed for other purposes, like to fill balloons and the tubes of vehicles that we are running on roads. For burning, combustion process जिसे बोलते हैं, उसके लिए तो ऑक्सीजन बहुत ही ज़रूरी है. Then for making moderate temperature in the room, like we need cool air in the summer, we switch on the AC, हो जाता है, right? We need hot air in the winters, again switch on the AC, it will be happening. So for that purposes we need the air. For drying of things, हवा चलने से चीज़ें जल्दी सूखती है. Okay, and support animal life by respiration. Then growing crops, for that also they will be requiring oxygen. Then we require air as a medium of communication also. हम लोग आज यहाँ पे फ़ोन पे बैठे बैठे बात कर सकते हैं. द मीडियम इज़ द एयर. ओके, एयर के थ्रू ही कम्युनिकेट होता है. एंड सो ऑन, वी विल रिक्वायर एयर इन मेनी मोर एरियाज. सो इट्स एन इम्पोर्टेंट inexhaustible natural resource needed for our survival. A normal person needs about 250 to 265 kg of air daily for doing various activities. हम जितना भी दिन में काम करते हैं, लगभग 250 से 265 kgs of air हम लोग यूटिलाइज करते हैं. ओके, so what does this air actually consist of? It's a mixture of gases we are saying, but उसमें क्या होता है और कितने कितने अमाउंट में होता है, you all know this from the very beginning. Okay, there is nitrogen, symbolized as N2. Nitrogen is 78%. Okay, there is oxygen, symbolized as O2. It is 21%. There is carbon dioxide, CO2. That is almost around 0.003 or 0.04%. And besides, there are the other gases, water vapor, dust particles, whatever it is there, it will be the remaining 1%. Okay, around 1%. The remaining is actually around 0.07%, but we consider it as 1 together with the carbon dioxide. Okay, so these other gases may include the gases like hydrogen, helium, neon, argon, krypton, ozone. Ozone is also included in the other gases. Okay, and water vapor, the water that evaporates from water bodies like lakes, ponds, sea. हम जो कपड़े सुखाते हैं उसमें से जो वाटर वेपर इवेपोरेट होता है, प्लांट्स जो ट्रांसपिरेशन करते हैं, ऑल दोज फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर इन द वेपर फॉर्म, वाटर वेपर इज देयर प्रेजेंट इन द एयर. And the amount of water vapor in air is called its humidity. Okay, कितना amount of water vapor present रहेगा atmosphere में या air में, that will decide the humidity of that particular area. It is variable and it is measured in percentage. Humidity को percentage में measure किया जा सकता है. And in rainy season the percentage of humidity is all very high. and in summers it is really relatively low. Okay, the air composition on earth is because of the life on earth. Okay, like suppose if plants were not there, only animals were to be survived, then what will happen? We will not get the sufficient oxygen, because plants help us in giving it to us by doing the process photosynthesis. They utilize the carbon dioxide which we have exhaled, and then they use that carbon dioxide to prepare food and oxygen for us. Okay, so without the composition of air as such, life would not have been possible. So there's no life on Venus and Mars. Okay, the atmosphere of these planets has about 95 to 97% of carbon dioxide. Okay, which is quite unbearable. इतना carbon dioxide हम लोग नहीं सह सकते. Okay. Remember about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. They also require oxygen to get energy from breakdown process of glucose molecules. That's called as cellular respiration. Okay, so they do the cellular respiration process, and they release out as a byproduct carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So this is why the organisms need oxygen mainly to break down the food. Also oxygen is required. Okay, so it is required for biosynthesis of many molecules in the body, and otherwise oxygen is also needed for combustion, as we said. Okay, combustion means burning. And talking about carbon dioxide is produced in atmosphere by the plants or various activities of the plants, and it is fixed in nature by two ways. First thing to fix carbon dioxide is to perform photosynthesis, which they do it. Plants always do photosynthesis during the daytime. And another thing is formation of shells. Okay, formation of shells. You all might be knowing about the reaction of photosynthesis. Let's talk about formation of cells. बहुत सारे marine animals जो होते हैं, they will be using the carbonates dissolved in sea water to make their cells to protect their body. Okay, octopus का cell होता है, oysters का cell होता है. Okay, all these cells are made up of carbonates. So that's why carbon dioxide is also utilized here in the formation of cells and in plants by doing the process of photosynthesis. Okay, now let us learn about the atmosphere in a little bit detail. Atmosphere. The envelope of air that is surrounding the earth is called as the atmosphere, and it is protective in nature. It protects the earth from the harmful radiations of the sun. Okay, sun rays में UV rays होते हैं, तो उससे वो बचाता है. And also from other different heavenly bodies, जो भी अल्ट्रावायलेट रेज हो गया या कुछ भी खतरनाक पार्टिकल्स आते हैं, उनसे हमें एटमॉस्फेयर बचाता है. इट ऑल्सो प्रोटेक्ट्स द अर्थ फ्रॉम हिटिंग ऑफ मेटेओर्स, बिकॉज क्या होता है, जैसे ही मेटेओर्स लोग एंट्री कर जाते हैं अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में, सो उनका स्पीड कम हो जाता है, जिसकी वजह से वो लो स्पीड के साथ अर्थ के सरफेस को हिट करते हैं, एंड देन लेस डैमेज इज डन. ओके, इफ एट ऑल इट इज हिटिंग द सरफेस, देन लेस डैमेज विल बी अकरिंग, इंस्टेड ऑफ अगर एटमॉस्फेयर ना होता तो जो डायरेक्ट हिट होता, that would have created a bang. Okay, but due to the atmosphere it is possible to reduce its speed because it is banging on before it is banging on planet Earth. Okay, so because of the atmosphere, another thing is important here, that the Earth does not become very hot or very cold. Okay, because of the presence of the atmosphere, like it is acting like an insulating barrier. Okay, and thus it makes Earth a suitable planet for the living beings to survive upon. Okay, so at different altitudes from the surface of the earth, if we rise our height from the surface of the earth, the density of atmospheric air, the density of air in the atmosphere will be varying. Like नीचे वाले layers में atmospheric air का density ठीक ठाक रहेगा, but जैसे जैसे height बढ़ते बढ़ते जाएगा, atmospheric air का density कमते कमते जाता है. Okay, whenever somebody climbs a mountain, आफ्टर रीचिंग अ सर्टन हाइट वो पैल्पिटेट करने लग जाता है. ओके, दैट इज ड्यू टू द शॉर्टेज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन ही फेसेस एट दैट टाइम. ओके, बिकॉज जैसे जैसे हाइट बढ़ते बढ़ते जाएगा, वैसे वैसे ही क्या बोलते हैं, डेंसिटी ऑफ एयर कमते कमते जाएगा, विच मीन्स लेस ऑक्सीजन विल बी अवेलेबल फॉर द होल बॉडी. ओके, Now let us see the layers of atmosphere. It is in 4 layers. First one is troposphere. Second one is stratosphere. Third one is ionosphere, and fourth one is the exosphere. Okay, these are the 4 different layers of atmosphere. Troposphere is closest to the ground and is the lowermost layer. We all live under this layer, and it is dense and have enough oxygen, which is the gas required for breathing. तो उसके पास troposphere में बहुत सारा sufficient oxygen रहता है. Upper layer of this layer has a little oxygen. Excuse me. Upper layer of this layer has a little of oxygen. Okay, and weather changes takes place in this layer only, and aeroplane also flies in this troposphere layer. The second layer is stratosphere layer. It is the second layer. It has a protective layer of ozone. Okay, we can see the ozone layer in the stratosphere layer, O3. Symbol of ozone is O3, and it absorbs ultraviolet rays coming from the sun, and these rays are harmful to the living beings. So stratosphere also prevents us from the harmful UV rays. Some of the harmful effects of ultraviolet rays could be cataract, आई डिफेक्ट हो सकता है, कैंसर्स हो सकते हैं अलग अलग तरीके के. ओके, कैटरैक्ट इज देयर विच इज एन आई डिफेक्ट. देन स्किन का कैंसर हो गया, इन्फ्लेमेटरी डिजीजेस हो गया, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो सकती है. ओके, द थर्ड लेयर इज द आयोनोस्फीयर लेयर, एंड इट हैज़ आयन्स इन इट, and it helps in radio transmission or communication. Okay, so ionospheres mostly helps in the communication. And exosphere, it is the fourth layer. It is the outermost layer, and it is excuse me. So and it is the last layer जिसके बाद हम लोग का space शुरू हो जाएगा. The black space will be there after this layer, exosphere layer के बाद. Okay. Now, what's the role of atmosphere in climate control? How does it done? So, the average temperature of the earth is steady during the daytime, and even during the course of the whole year, it remains almost the same. And it is because of the earth's atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere होने की वजह से हम लोग का climatic condition same maintain होकर रह जाता है हर साल. The atmosphere will prevent any sudden rise in the temperature during the daytime, and during the night time, it will check the escape of heat from the earth's surface into the outer space. Okay, so this is the functioning of atmosphere like this. अगर suddenly rise हो जाता है temperature during daytime, so the atmosphere will be regulating it, and during the night time it will escape of heat from earth's surface into the outer space. Okay, now let's talk about the moon's atmosphere. Moon is almost at the same distance from the sun that the earth is. ओके, जितना डिस्टेंस मून का सन से है उतना ही डिस्टेंस अर्थ का भी सन से है. एंड डिस्पाइट ऑफ दैट देर इज नो एटमोसफियर ऑन द मून, एंड द टेम्परेचर इज बिटवीन -190 to 110 डिग्री सेल्सियस. मतलब ठंडे से ठंडा टेम्परेचर एंड गर्म से गर्म टेम्परेचर, दोनों के दोनों टेम्परेचर कुड बी सीन इन द मून. ओके, in different times of the year. Now, movement of air causes wind, we all know that, and the speed of the wind or the movement of the air will be depending on many other factors, and the main factor is temperature of hot air and the pressure created. Okay, so pressure and temperature, these are the two factors. After a hot day, what do we do? The cool evening जो होता है, पूरे दिन में हम लोगों ने जितना गर्मी सहा, उसके बाद शाम को जो ठंडी पवन चलती है, that will be relieving us. Okay, and the cause of movement of air is heating and cooling of water and land surfaces and the air above these surfaces. Okay, what happens because of the heating of the air and formation of water vapor, there will be changes occurring in the atmosphere. Okay, and the sources of water vapor would be from evaporation from the water bodies on lands, जैसे lake हो गया, pond हो गया, river हो गया, इन लोग से पानी evaporate करेगा, so water vapor बनेगा. And then what will happen, the sources as I said, resources. Now also the water vapors are released in atmosphere from plants, animals and also from various activities of human beings. तो ऐसे भी हम लोग बहुत सारा वाटर वेपर एटमोसफियर में छोड़ते हैं. ओके, द हीटिंग ऑफ एटमोसफियर फ्रॉम द बिलो is by the radiation reflected back by the land or water bodies. Okay, दिन के समय में क्या होता है, द लैंड इज कंपेरेटिवली हॉटर, जल्दी गर्म हो जाता है ड्यू टू सनरेज, पानी को गर्म होने में टाइम लगता है. ओके, सो वाटर, द लैंड इज रिलेटिवली कूलर, बट वो धीरे धीरे गर्म होता है दिन के समय में. एंड द वाटर बॉडीज दे आर ऑल्सो हीटेड अप ड्यूरिंग द daytime. Okay, so what happens in land bridge, in sea bridge, daytime के समय में sea water and land water both are heated up due to the sun rays, and the air above the soil, okay, the air above the land will gets heated up faster and that will be raising up. तो land के ऊपर का जो हवा है वो ऊपर उठ रहा है, so that will create a low pressure area over there, and to match up with that low pressure, the air from the sea, from above the sea, will be rushing towards the land, and that is called as the sea breeze. Just the opposite happens in the night time also. Okay, don't get because आप लोग ये सब बचपन में भी पढ़े होगे, 6-7 क्लासेस में भी ये होगा. Okay, so you just need to recall this. Okay, the land bridges, during night time both the land and the sea will start to cool off, and the land will cool faster compared to the water bodies. The water is warmer at the night time due to this reason only, and the air above it will be warmer, and that will rise up and again create a low pressure area, due to which the air will blow from land to the sea at the night time. That is called as the land bridge. Okay, the movement of air that causes wind, that is because of, first thing is the uneven heating of the atmospheric air in different regions of the place of earth. अर्थ के ऊपर में अलग अलग जगहों पे अनइवन हीटिंग होता है, ड्यू टू विच wind will be moving. Second thing is the rotation of the earth, that is also causing the wind. And third thing is the presence of mountain ranges in the wind path. Suppose हवा बह रही है, बीच में mountain आ गया, so it will deflect, वहाँ से air का direction change हो जाएगा, right? So these are the three reasons why the movement of air occurs or wind occurs. So this was all about the air. And if we are talking about the atmospheric air, we should also get concerned with the rain. Okay, so this much for this video class. हम लोग rain के बारे में and then about air pollution next class में पढ़ेंगे. Okay.